Recent Russian losses in its assault on the Ukrainian city of Avdiivka are likely to be some of the highest of the year, the UK Ministry of Defence said in an intelligence update on Saturday. In mid-October, Russia began a major offensive effort to capture the city in Donetsk, which resulted in significant Russian losses both in terms of personnel and equipment. Russia has probably committed elements of up to 8 brigades to the fighting, which is heavy but inconclusive, the UK department said. These groups have likely some of the highest casualty rates of the year. Russian military bloggers have been harshly critical of the tactics of the Avdiivka operation, according to UK intel. Ukraine says Russia lost more than 6,000 soldiers in 1 week in its latest offensive, and it claimed to have destroyed nearly 50 Russian tanks in 1 day, during the intense fighting. The Russian political establishment continues to push for more territory to be occupied, but Russia's military is struggling to carry out successful assaults, the department noted. It indicates that Russia's core military political challenge remains the same as it has throughout most of the war, the department said. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky claimed this week that Russia had lost at least a brigade in its attempts to take Avdiivka. The think tank the Institute for the Study of War previously observed that it is unclear why Russia has spent so much effort and resources on trying to take Avdiivka, as it will not open new routes of advance to the rest of Donetsk. The Russian military's continued attempts to take it, despite of heavy losses, suggests either that Russian forces believe they can take the city, or that military command is poorly prioritizing offensive operations regardless of their cost, the think tank said. While Russia has never confirmed the number of casualties in Ukraine, Western estimates have placed it approximately 300,000. A Russian soldier described the slaughter of 1,000 his comrades and said they don't stand a chance against well-prepared Ukrainian forces, according to a leaked phone call released by Ukraine's Military Intelligence Directorate GUR. On the call, the soldier tells his mother that the whole forest is dotted with dead soldiers, as Russia tries to take the village of Ivanivka in Kherson Oblast, per a translation by the Kyiv Post. There's such a slaughter going on there. He said. More than 1,000 were killed. He describes Russian forces suffering heavy losses when coming up against heavily fortified Ukrainian positions. He said that when a unit of 20 Russians assaulted a Ukrainian position, only 2 or 3 come back. In one instance, he said, a handful of Ukrainian soldiers fended off hundreds of Russian troops. Yesterday Sam flew the plane and said that just 8 people were sitting in the trench, just 8 coholes. And our men go there by the hundreds, and they are not even capable of taking a fucking thing. He said. Coholes is derogatory Russian term for Ukrainians. He said that snipers and machine gunners were in the trench, along with a pillbox, a concrete dug-in guard post, to protect them. Insider was not able to independently verify the authenticity of the call. Ukraine's intelligence department has periodically published the audios of intercepted Russian calls, which Russian media often dismisses as fake. Russia has been conducting attacks on Ukrainian positions in the town of Ivanivka as they try to push forward toward Kupiansk in Kharkiv Oblast, Ukrainian officials have said. The spokesperson for Ukraine's Ground Forces Command, Lieutenant Colonel Volodymyr Fedyo, said that they expected Russia to try and recapture Kupiansk, so appropriate defense structures were built, per Ukrinform. Ukraine's armed forces lost approximately 90,000 military troops killed and wounded during the counter-offensive it launched a few months ago without accomplishing any substantial tactical successes, Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu said on Monday. Only since June 4, that is, since the start of the West's widely publicized and generously funded Ukrainian counter-offensive, Kyiv has lost over 90,000 military personnel killed or wounded, 600 tanks, and nearly 1,900 armored vehicles of various classes, Shoigu said as cited by state news agency TASS. He added, at the same time, no tactically significant successes were made on the battlefield. Additionally, the Russian defense minister said Moscow remained prepared for discussions on the post-conflict resolution of the Ukraine crisis. In case the necessary conditions are created, we remain ready for political discussions on a realistic basis, both on the post-conflict resolution of the Ukrainian crisis, and on the further coexistence with the West as a whole, Shoigu said. He stressed that, it is important to ensure equal relations among all nuclear powers, permanent members of the UN Security Council, which bear a special responsibility for maintaining peace and global stability. On the other side, Ukraine said on Monday Russia has lost approximately 299,940 troops in the war since the invasion started on February 24, 2022, according to the General Staff of the Armed Forces. The General Staff of Ukraine's Armed Forces reported on October 30 that Russia had lost 299,940 troops in Ukraine since the beginning of its full-scale invasion on February 24 last year. This number includes 860 casualties Russian forces suffered just over the past day.